Yay! A pretty wench catches your eye. We can indulge the impulse, get a bastard, and get the trait lustful, which increases our fertility, but it lowers our yearly piety. We can try to resist the impulse, to get a 10% chance of getting lustful, but we don't get a bastard. We could try to restrain the impulse and get the chaste, which lowers our intrigue and increases our diplomacy, I think. It also gives a bonus yearly piety, and we're more likely to get events with our wife that are good. And we can refuse the impulse, and our piety increases, and we get a 25% chance of getting chaste. I do like bastards because they count as part of your bloodline, and they're good for kind of perpetuating things. But in this case, it's really early, and we want to get the good events with our wife. So I'm going to refuse the impulse, and our intrigue goes down, but our diplomacy does go up, like I predicted. And it's a positive trait. People like it, and our wife will definitely like it. So she's now gaining loyalty because we don't have the wise trait. So hopefully we get the good events from falling in love with her later on. So that'll be great. Alright, I believe this is the first time this has happened. A courtier has asked permission to challenge his fierce rival in a duel, which is the marshal. This guy is useless, so we can allow the duel, which will give a 30% loyalty boost to both him and the marshal. And then one of 5 options will happen. 10% chance this guy dies, and a 20% chance for him to be severely wounded, 40% chance of nothing happening, a 20% chance our marshal is severely wounded, which is terrible, and a 10% chance our marshal dies. We're not going to do that because our marshal's way more important than this guy. We can disallow it, take no further action, and they get a bonus. They both get a penalty to our. They both get a penalty to loyalty with us, 20%. Or we can disallow it and banish the instigator, and then lose 30% loyalty for our marshal. We're going to do that, and yeah, this guy still likes us, so we just really didn't want to have to deal with his crap anymore, so we kicked him out. Okay, the Republic of Venice, who have been our neighbors ever since we moved to Egypt, are at war with the Sultanate of Karakind, which is somewhere. He's our friend. No, that's Assassin. I don't know. Karakind is Crusader. Karakind, okay. They're unlikely to lose anything, but we're going to keep an eye on it because if the Seljuks or somebody joins in and starts taking their provinces, we're going to have to take steps. Hopefully they do take it, but hopefully they're kind of in a weakened position from fighting them that I can take advantage of it. Okay. The reckless and suspicious parts of your personality are in conflict. I can say I trust no one and lose reckless, and concentrate on recklessness and lose suspicious. Let's take a look at this. Or we can say I can handle it, and we have a 35% chance of getting stressed, and this event might pop up again. Suspicious has got a -2 penalty to diplomacy, and only a +1 bonus to intrigue, while reckless has a +1 to intrigue and a -1 to martial. I think these events are designed so that you can't get a bunch of, or so to reduce the effect of having a bunch of stacked things for stats. So I'm going to concentrate on recklessness, which is a funny thing to say, to get a more balanced set of stats and to lose one of these negative traits. Reckless is less bad than suspicious. So, and now he's more balanced. I still have quite a bit of provinces that I can control, so I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, I can get 5 more, and 5 more is pretty much all I'm going for anyway. I think 6 more is what I'm going for, but I'm building a bunch of royal posts posts, so it's not going to matter. With royal posts, you can pretty much go about 75% in efficiency without having any problems. Oh, this is bad. We have spotted our wife spending quite some time with a young bachelor in court. We can say it's probably nothing. Get 50% chance of nothing happening, 25% chance of getting trusting and generous, which are both positive traits with negative effects to our intrigue, which we don't really want. Hopefully we only get one of them or none of them if we pick this. And a 50% chance that she starts going out with Sigahelm, which is kind of bad, because the follow-up event where she is actually like having an affair with him might happen. We could keep her under a watchful eye, which is a higher chance of that happening, and a 25% chance of getting suspicious or selfish. We just lost suspicious, and selfish is a bonus to stewardship with a penalty to diplomacy, I believe, and a -2 thing to stuff. Piety. We could pick this and get this kind of the same event, only we can get hostile and reckless instead, and she only has a 25% chance of becoming a friend, and we get a 25% chance of having the bad thing with our wife where she hates us forever, which doesn't affect the rate of having children, interestingly enough. We could exile him, and 50% chance nothing happens again. We get arbitrary or vengeful, which are both bad. I don't like them. 25% chance our wife becomes stressed, which reduces her fertility, and a 50% chance that we get the falling out event. I'm actually going to pick it's probably nothing, and we get no quote-unquote good traits, bad traits, and she's not going out with him, so pretty much dodged a bullet there. Okay, this is a stability event. Our lands are so prosperous that you could round up some extra taxes if you wanted to. You have 3 options. Surely there's no harm in that. You get 1,385 gold, well, and 91 cents if you get up cents with gold. 91 copper or silver, whatever, D&D currency. And a 50% chance our stability goes down by 1. Or we can say, make them harsh extra taxes, get a lot more gold, automatically lose 1 stability, and a 50% chance of getting selfish, which is bad. Or we can say, let the peasants keep their spare cattle and get generous, which lowers our stewardship, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pick the first option. This will probably go down, which will hurt our chances of converting a province, but I don't want selfish, because it's a negative trait, and this will automatically lower it. And I don't want generous, so... And we don't lose stability, and we get a buttload of money, so great. One of the things we can do with this, because we get a lot more money than we have any kind of, chance of dealing with it, is put money into them increasing their province improvements. This is normally a good idea when you want to keep them as your vassals, but I don't really want to, and they prioritize castles over everything, and castles are really expensive. So I'm just going to ignore them for the most part, and just hope that the province improvements they have is enough. This guy doesn't actually have a castle as an option, so I'm going to give him 400 gold and hope he builds the road network. Or I'm going to give him 300 gold. And see if he builds the road network. And he built the road network. Excellent. This place doesn't even have a fort at all. But they have, stuff. Still nobody has the option for a port yet, which would really help us out, but whatever. Alright, this is Francis's firstborn. He is probably... He's not very close in the succession at all, actually. And he's got an illness. We're going to say monastery. Alright, now that we've pretty much finished our big improvements that help us, we're going to build this extensive road network because it gives a bonus to build time. It is going to take a long time, but the next thing we want to build is the castle, so we want a bonus to build time. We don't want to build the church or the monastery yet. We want to wait for at least one of our provinces to convert before doing that. So, I really like this personality thing. Pragmatic is a really good bonus. It's a -1 in martial and diplomacy, but a +1 to both of the what I think of as the good stats for a leader. Martial and diplomacy are good, don't get me wrong, but intrigue and stewardship tend to be a lot more valuable in the long run, especially for like a king who's not going to do a lot of warring. And a -1 to yearly prestige. I do like it as a trait, though. Energetic is also one of the good ones. It gives a +1 to martial and +1 to diplomacy, so it pretty much balances out the penalties of this, and it becomes a -1 intrigue, which basically means this is a bonus to stewardship. So that's basically what's going on. And we didn't get wise. Zealous would have been really great to get. Zealous is pretty much a flat bonus. So it's always nice to get those, and it's a positive trait. But it's good that we didn't get wise, because the penalty to, and that seems like a funny thing to say, but that's pretty much true. He is excellent. This character is one of the reasons I don't really care that my king is not having any children, not having any male children, because he's third in line to the throne. And number 2 is Philip, and Philip is his father, so number 2, number 3 basically, because the likelihood is that the king is going to die after all these guys. So, and Francis doesn't really have any kind of stake in things because he just kind of sucks, and so that's pretty much the way things are going. He's already kind of better than us, which is what I was expecting with the prodigy trait, you know? And he's getting really awesome stat growth. So I'm just really hoping he doesn't get a shitty education trait because we don't have a bishop. Hopefully we'll have a bishop by the time he gets that far. Alright, I think this is the first time I've ever actually actively did this, but we have a chance to marry off our niece. I believe it is Francis's daughter. So let's kind of go over here and check out. Okay, not him. People we want to see if we can marry him into. Okay, the king, who is now Aldous, doesn't really have any kind of people we can do, so let's check Scotland. His son's already married. Ireland, no. Wales, no. Alright, France. And the reason I'm checking only for royal families is that you tend to you tend to get a better intrigue bonus or a prestige bonus when you marry them to a monarch. We want a Catholic monarch because we don't want to have an orthodox side of our thing, and he's going to be turned 16 pretty soon. So we're keep an eye on Mr. Velostovic here, and see if we can kind of marry our niece off to him. Alright, a bishop. Love to lose a bit of gold. And bishop. Let's check him out. Oh, and he's pretty good. He's a skeptical, lustful bishop. Awesome.